On today's episode, Todd and Courtney sit down with Ricky Mathews, host of Coast View. It's all right here on Spotlight Gulf Coast.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Banco Mccarty Foundation, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WGUD and Fox 25. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across South Mississippi, and we want to thank our sponsors, the IP Casino Resort and Spa, Gulf Sales, Lighthouse, Airmasters, and Scranton's for this opportunity. Today we are really pleased to have one of, I would say, certainly one of my friends, mentors, business confidants, and we've done a lot over the years, Ricky. And I was telling Courtney before, I used to refer to you as the man, and now you're the retired man, but we never retire. And this is just such an honor to have you here. I've been on your radio program. We turned the tables a little bit. So
yeah, it's great. Great to see you, Courtney.
Oh, and thank you for coming out, Ricky. We appreciate it.
And I think you set this up. And
I did. Actually, you were in the hunting camp. You're like, I can't really talk, but can you call me Monday?
I know, and she said that, and I said, yeah, we'd like that.
Yeah, I was like, we got Ricky Mathews. He was like, good job.
Well, I'm proud of Courtney, as you know. I've known her family my entire life.
Right.
She comes from a terrific family. And the Coast View session I had with her father was a real opportunity to really kind of understand the incredible footprint the Anderson family has made on coastal Mississippi. So it's great to see you and to be here with you.
It means a lot.
Now, Ricky, again, I met you now, I hate to say it, it's been a long time ago, but you were in the newspaper business a long time before that. So why don't we, real quickly, how'd you get in the newspaper business, and how did you end up the publisher and doing all the things that you were?
I went to University of Alabama in Birmingham, the paramedic school, and was in pre-med for a while, and saw so much death and dying. To be quite honest with you, I came to the conclusion that medicine really wasn't for me. So went on to pursue a degree in business, got my MBA, but along the way I did an internship at the Sun Herald and never left. I actually finished at night. Finished my MBA at night, and had the real honor of having Roland Weeks as the publisher of the newspaper and my mentor. And he just kind of took me under his wing at a very young age, and the rest is kind of history. I worked my way through many areas of the newspaper and became publisher and president of the company in 2001.
And of course, that's preparing you for, I guess, the next big thing being a few years later, with Katrina, and obviously that catapulted some of your responsibilities and certainly made you a household word. I mean, I certainly was over there. Who's this guy?
Well, I was honored because Roland was so focused on teaching me. We didn't have like the Young Presidents Organization or leadership programs during those days, but I had the ultimate leadership trainer in terms of understanding the community. So Roland's the guy who taught me that South Mississippi is a powerful region, and if we don't get our act together, we're going to spend so much time fighting amongst ourselves that the people in Jackson won't have to pay attention to us. So he always believed that a publisher wore three hats, that you're a community leader, you have fiduciary responsibilities of running a company, and you're a community leader. And those hats are going to be in conflict with one another at times. But to the extent that you wear all three of them, it will make you a better publisher. And he always believed that you have to commit to the community. You have to commit significant time and energy to the community. So it came natural to me to always do that.
Now, I guess around, you'd been there about a year, maybe 2 years, and you started the Leadership Awards, which again, we've talked about were the awards here on the Gulf Coast. And what's interesting, you can look at those. I always said, why would you do a top under 40? Well, a lot of those top under 40s are now the leaders. I remember John Hairston was actually was the under 40, and then to see that.
So Todd, I believe so strongly that, see, again, we didn't have these leadership programs that we have today, but the opportunity to hold these young people up and these community leaders up as examples for others to follow. So I would actually, as you know, when I called you, I would say you're sort of a tool now in a way, because we're going to hold you up as an example that others can follow. And by the way, congratulations on the recognition as well. But the opportunity to really hold people up as an example was really important. It's like one of the first things I did. And we created the Roland Weeks Hall of Fame. That was really important to me because I didn't want Roland to retire and fade into the sunset. I wanted people to understand the responsibility and the torch that he passed to me in terms of understanding how a leader should operate in the community. So we had the Rolling Weeks Hall of Fame and the top 10 under 40, and the top 10 Sun Herald community leaders, and we were very proud to do that for a number of years.
And still, I think, going on today. And,
well, it's the One Coast Award today underneath the chamber. So I'm glad that. I wish it was still under the Sun Herald, but things have changed in the printing industry these days. So it's it's in a good place now at the chamber, and it continues. So we continue to hold all these leaders up as examples for others to follow.
I bet you and Roland are still so close.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, and I like how you were talking about him being a mentor, and he would just tell you like it is, but then you would change it, and that's how you grow.
He was the best mentor you could ever have. I mean, I mentioned to you when we were off
yes.
that if I curled my my forehead when I was listening, he would say it would send off the wrong message, or don't write. I was proud of my A's in college, but he would say, you can say what you said in 2 pages and 1 page, and let me show you how to do that.
I get
and I think
so
that
he was just a great mentor in that way.
Yeah, there's an art on how you do that.
Well, having a good mentor, somebody that you trust, and I used to give this advice all the time.
Right.
So people have a tendency not to want to get the feedback because it hurts.
Yeah, it does kind of hurt.
But they don't realize that it's not hurtful. It's really helping build you up.
You want the best person.
It's out of love.
You should invite it. We should, as human beings, should be human sponge. One of the things I often say is this, that we never arrive. I don't care where you are in your life. You never arrive. That life's a journey. It's a journey of constant discovery.
Right.
And the more you learn, the more you better learn how much you don't know. So it's a humbling thing.
Right.
And to have people around you who know things you don't know, that's always a good thing.
I'm going to switch direction a little bit because we're doing sort of a chronological thing, and we're sitting here, we're at Katrina, we're getting into the Sun Herald Awards, we're starting to see some of the rebuilding, and then I think it really gets interesting when you're asked by the governor and y'all start communicating, and you put together, the rebuilding of the entire region, because and that template's been used.
It has. Well, the Governor's Commission on Recovery, Rebuilding, Renewal, nothing like that has ever been done before, and Haley Barbour gets tremendous, recognition for that. He wrote a book about it, and so it's an amazing process. But we met at the Sun Herald 6 days after Hurricane Katrina, and began to put this thing in place. And I was the vice chairman of the tourism effort, and we, by the end of the year, had a plan together. And what's interesting about his book is you see all these activities that were happening, 1,000 people, or however how many people were involved in this effort, while simultaneously he had an entirely different effort happening in Washington, preparing Washington for what was going to be a multi-billion-dollar ask to help coastal Mississippi recover. So simultaneously, Haley Barbour was operating locally and on the national level in ways that I don't think they can ever be replicated again. What he did to get a bipartisan support of the money, especially in light of what was happening in Louisiana. They had some leadership challenges there. They had asked for $250 billion without a plan. It created a cooling effect in Washington, and he had to sort of manage through that. To the extent that he led the way he led, it actually created opportunities for Louisiana to then kind of do a re-ask, and the rest is history. But it was an amazing time. And I think the Governor's Commission on Recovery, Rebuilding, and Renewal, all the leaders that were involved in that, we would all, I think, say to a person that we'd be in a much different place today had we not done that.
You've told this story many times. Of course, President Bush came down numerous times, but when he came down, I guess he was introduced to you. The next time he came down, he remembered your name.
I was impressed with it. Yeah, it was interesting because that was during the time when the national press was not his friend. And he had made the comment about the national director Brown and being Brownie. You remember that? Doing a good job. And then he flew over to New Orleans, and that was kind of an issue. But the bottom line was, he would sit and take notes, and Haley would call these small meetings of leaders, and I was super impressed with President Bush, and he did remember my name, which I was always very impressed by. Think about what he was going through in those days.
And go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to you. Ricky, what was it like going into a situation, having to be the leader, the calm one, and then translate the messages to George Bush?
Well, it was interesting because I give him a lot of recognition for making us feel calm.
Right.
Like we had lunch one day before we met, And he likes fried seafood, just loves fried seafood. So he puts you at ease by talking about how good the food is. And don't you just love these shrimp? And, he's a normal guy, really, in a lot of ways. I mean, his ability to, then when you get to talking about the heady stuff, you feel more comfortable.
Right.
So he was an amazing leader in that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to have to go to a commercial break, but while y'all were down the street, I think, with the president one day, I hadn't arrived yet, but I got to have lunch with Laura Bush right down the street at Lynn Meadows.
Yeah.
So I remember going down there, and I remember passing where y'all were and looking. I said, one day, just went on my little way.
Yeah.
But, it's sort of surreal to look back at how your life intertwines with a national catastrophe, and then important figures like that, and we had a lot.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks down here with Habitat, and Jimmy Carter, and just all those people. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're talking with Ricky Mathews, of course, so don't touch that remote. We're going to be right back.
Hey, this is Courtney Anderson. Join me each week on this station for Spotlight Gulf Coast.
Join us as we interview community leaders all across our region.
Together, we're making a difference.
There's a magic in the air out here.
An exciting place to be.
A peak casino resort and spa. There's fun for everyone. When you need to get away, Biloxi is the place to stay. A peak casino resort and spa. There's fun for everyone.
At Airmasters, we take pride in serving our customers.
For the past 40 years, Airmasters Mechanical has demonstrated an excellent approach to customer service by responding to their needs in a timely manner with a very knowledgeable and professional staff. Whether it's commercial, industrial, or residential, Airmasters is here for you and ready to help.
We're here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
I can always depend on Airmasters, and so can you.
Airmasters Mechanical, 228-497-6462.
Come on in to Scranton's Restaurant and Catering in downtown Pascagoula, where ordering just got faster and more convenient. Once you've placed your order, one of our servers will hand you a number. Take that number to the table that you desire to sit at, and in no time, a waitress will be out with your delicious Scranton's food. Scranton's Restaurant and Catering, 623 Delmas Avenue in beautiful Pascagoula.
Gulf Sales and Supply wants everyone to know that whether you need one more tool for that honey-do list this weekend, or if you're a contractor in need of hundreds, they are your source to save you time and money. Top quality tools from leading manufacturers including DeWalt, Makita, Porter Cable, Klein, Milwaukee, Pronto, or 3M, and much more. Over 400,000 items are available from over 2,000 vendors. Stop by today at 1909 Kenneth Avenue, Pascagoula, and let their highly knowledgeable crew find the perfect tool for your job. That's Gulf Sales and Supply.
The Banco Mccarty Foundation has grown from a virtually unknown nonprofit to become one of the most important supporters of youth, education, and cultural causes in the Gulf Coast region. Strategic partnerships with the IP Casino Resort and Spa, Chevron, Mississippi Power, Butch Ostelet Autoplex, Airmasters, Gulf Sales and Supply, Citizens Bank, Andercorp, Ray Brandt Auto Group, and numerous other local businesses that have allowed us to continue to make a positive difference in our leaders of tomorrow. The IP Casino Resort and Spa has partnered with the foundation over the past 13 years, donating close to $3 million. Together, we have worked to help organize several major events along the Gulf Coast. Events that heighten not only awareness, but events that raise significant funds to support these various groups. The foundation has become one of the largest financial contributors to the Chamber of Commerce Explosion of Excellence Scholarship Program, having donated well over $100,000 to deserving students. We assist our local Boys and Girls Clubs, having helped to secure funding for buildings, and we annually present scholarships for their Youth of the Year. The Banco Mccarty Foundation believes that investing in our leaders of tomorrow has tremendous rewards and is the largest financial supporter for Rotary scholarships in our region. We present the Special Olympics hosted by the YMCA, which allows special needs athletes from across the Gulf Coast area to compete in various swimming competitions. Together, we have partnered with Chevron to purchase the Aqua Van to help bring the Mississippi Aquarium to local students. We founded and present the Senior PGA Junior Clinic as part of the Rapiscan Classic, an event that features professional golfers teaching youth about the game of golf while stressing important life lessons. We co-founded the One Coast Ambassador of the Year event, where we present our Coast Youth of the Year scholarships. This event has become an instant success and will return this year. Several years ago, the Foundation and the IP Casino decided to present a unique coast-wide fashion show, which features local boutiques and well-known local community models. South Mississippi Living magazine joined our team, and Renaissance the Runway has become a tremendous hit. The Jolly Mccarty Memorial 2-Day Extravaganza has become one of the signature events in all of South Mississippi and is one of the largest golfing events in Gulf Coast history. Butch Ostelet will chair this year's event and help our team raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for local causes. The Foundation stays connected throughout the year with many special projects that bring joy and happiness to so many. From supporting the exceptional school to presenting dance recitals that reiterate the real meaning of the season. The Banco Mccarty Foundation has partnered with Chevron and other local businesses and established the Second Chance Mississippi Fund to help meet the educational and workforce development needs of our community. Our board, staff, and army of volunteers stay actively engaged with the pulse of our community. If these signature events were not enough, the Foundation hosts a weekly TV show on WGUD television and WXXV Fox 25. Co-host Todd Trenchard and Courtney Anderson cover topics of interest and talk to community leaders from all across the region. We also have a long-standing relationship with South Mississippi Living magazine. These partnerships have enabled many groups to discuss their missions while helping them to raise additional funds for their causes. This past year has presented its challenges, but the Banco Mccarty Foundation was on the front lines, helping our community and nonprofit sector during these unprecedented times. We also helped local agencies by allowing them to use our events to raise money and awareness for their causes. The Banco Mccarty's future is brighter than ever as it expands across the region.
As we move forward, we and the agencies we serve want to say thank you for your generous support.
Together, we are making a difference.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm joined by Courtney Anderson and my good friend Ricky Mathews. And Ricky, we're having just a little conversation here, learning a little bit each time I talk to you. I've done that for a long time. I'm very observant. I like to learn from those people that came before me and are mentors. And Courtney, we were talking about how it's come full force now. You mentored me, I'm mentoring her. And, but Ricky, you know, it's amazing life. You get to meet the president. You get to be in the middle of ground zero of one of the largest opportunities, not a catastrophe. And Haley Barber used to always say that, it's just an opportunity.
Right.
But then to be awarded a Pulitzer Prize, a little old newspaper like the Sun Herald, I'll never forget that cover because I think it was Blake Kaplan doing that.
And Stan.
Yeah.
You know, Stan Tyner and the team, it was an amazing time for the newspaper. First of all, we really committed to getting a printed newspaper out. That was really important because people didn't have power and they didn't have computers and
it was free.
The mobile technology was different then.
Right.
And you know, we gave the paper away free for them. I think till like I'm trying to remember, like October the 15th or something like that. Someone asked me one day, how much money did that cost? You know, a lot. Well, what did your corporation think about it when you decided to give the paper away for free? And I said, well, I never asked.
Right.
We just did what we needed to do. We were part of Knight Ridder. They were such an amazing company. And we knew that the key to our recovery was going to be not only getting the information out there, but the Sun Herald's recovery was going to be rebuilding our business relationship with our advertisers and our subscribers. But watching the Sun Herald team, watching every aspect of our company work together to get the newspaper delivered, to write an amazing newspaper. I often say that newspapers are sort of the glue that keeps us focused on our democracy. You know, we're providing the news and information that keeps the democracy viable. And after the Katrina, so many people had decisions to make. You know, cities had decisions to make. You know, there were so many decisions, and we were providing that information. And we were telling the story of the worst natural disaster in American history, and we were recognized with the gold medal, the public service Pulitzer, and it was just a big day for the Sun Herald.
Unbelievable. And to be able to experience that, now we're, I guess, what year is that now? We're talking
2006.
2006, and it's not too long after that. I think that, you know, we start getting a little closer connected, and we start talking about how we can help the Herald come into Jackson County. At the time, we've just got one paper over here, and so we start doing that, and actually, you know, the bank right around the corner becomes ground zero for a lot of the strategy sessions, and you know, at the time, you know, that probably was a little risque for me.
Well, what was important at the time, even, you know, again, Roland Week's mentorship, we wanted the Sun Herald to be South Mississippi's newspaper. You know, that was back in 2001. We launched what we call our 2001 our South Mississippi strategy in 2001. But as we continue to move that thing forward, even, you know, before Katrina, then after Katrina, we started more solidly thinking about it. But that was an important part of our strategy. We wanted to bring coastal Mississippi together. And, you know, to the extent that, you know, one media company can make an impact, I think we made as good an impact as we possibly could at the time, especially in the aftermath of Katrina.
I know that, I think it's 2007 or 8, again, you helped me get Haley Barber to do sort of a talk to our shareholders and that. But when we dedicated that bank, I know the paper here, the Mississippi Press, had the title on the front page, and y'all put the title on your front page of the Herald, Bank on it, and I'll never forget that. And we had this huge picture, and I can remember Jerry Royce, they were probably like, wow. But that's sort of a first, but I remember you saying, this is important to us.
Yeah.
This is a very important story because it does show sort of the connection of the whole coast, and the paper helped lead that.
Yeah, the irony of all of that, though, is in 2009 when I had the opportunity to join the Newshouse organization and go be the publisher in Mobile.
Right.
With responsibilities to now the Mississippi Press and the Birmingham News and Huntsville Times and Ale.com were all part of that same company. It was almost surreal to go over there and have that opportunity. But I loved my time in Mobile. I always kept a home here in coastal Mississippi during that. And then in 2012, I'll go over to New Orleans to lead a major strategic effort there with NOLA.com and NOLA Media Group.
Right.
And, you know, just it's funny how fast time flies. I mean, I left, you know, as publisher of the Sun Herald in 2009.
Right.
And that's 11 years ago, or now it's soon to be 12 years ago.
I mean,
Pretty
Ricky,
amazing.
you've really just stepped up in all situations. You're like, you've not missed a beat.
Well, it's been a fast-paced life, which is one of the reasons I retired in 2016.
Yes, I know, but not really. You don't stop.
Well, I did for 4 years.
I mean, your resume, I was like, oh my gosh, how and what do I even talk about? It's so impressive.
Well, when I got an opportunity to TeleSouth, the company that owns Super Talk and 26 radio stations across the state, when they called, I laughed literally out loud. But I said, I'll help you. They wanted me to do this daily show. I said, there's no way I'm going to do a daily show.
I know.
And I thought about it for nearly 5 months. And they waited. They said, we know you're going to do this. We just have to wait on you to come to the, you know, the realization that you need to do it. And, you know, that was been over a year ago now. I've been doing it every day since a year ago. So I've got this coastal Mississippi studio right in my house. And, you know, so it's a gift actually to me to have this opportunity to get inspired by so many amazing people every single morning. So we developed this show called Coast View. My wife named it VUE, the visual perception of a region.
So Ann got involved.
Yeah. I mean, once you know, we were both on board. She had to say yes because this was going to limit our mobility, as you can imagine.
Sure.
But I've been so happy to get reconnected, and you know, I wouldn't be sitting here now if I hadn't have done that. So
And
Just
Ricky,
great.
I love
Yeah.
seeing each week. I'm like, who's on it this week? I mean, there are always people that I'm learning so much. There's story, and you touch on everything. It's pretty cool.
It's a wide range of people that I get the chance to talk to.
It is.
You know, people who are successful in different ways. Business, key business leaders. It could be nonprofit leaders. It could be characters like Bobby Mahoney, for example.
I love it.
But it's just fun. Or characters like Todd.
Yeah, survivors.
And I'm bringing on Courtney.
Oh gosh.
But it is really a blessing to have this opportunity to celebrate coastal Mississippi.
It is.
And what's been cool about it for me is I forgot what I know. It's all coming back. It's like it's all there. You just forget the file name. And so as I had these conversations, the recall of all of these things that it takes to make a community work start to come back up again, and it's fun. It's fun making that connection.
I think indirectly this has sort of been your mindset with this show, is to get people to come on and just meet the people. It's not about the business.
And he's written all these books. All this stuff is like on my bucket list, and I'm like, I bet you wrote your book in what, a month?
No.
I mean, I was like that. I've been working on it in my journal, but where do I start?
Well, when you're the publisher of a newspaper, you get opportunities to do books. So publishing books and completely writing books are two different things. But we're proud of the books that we've been part of. After Katrina, we did a couple of books. In Alabama, we did a couple about Alabama's national championship. I had the opportunity to write Haley's foreword to his book on Katrina. So it's fun. I have a book though on lessons from Katrina that I haven't published. That eventually maybe I will.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, we learned a lot about what in life is important after Katrina. Most importantly, life itself and your family and your community. And that buildings don't make a community, people do. And when you add all those things together, it's pretty powerful. So whether I ever publish it or not, there's still a lot of inspiration in it.
I think that's a great segue into, we've got about a minute and a half, and I do want to talk about, you mentioned it, family. As long as I've known you, St. Patrick Golf Tournament out there, and part of it, you're out there.
She's so cute.
I mean, you have always been a family man. You've always put that in front of everything. Even when you're at the levels that we're at, you're able to know that that's the most important thing.
I have always been fortunate to have, first of all, my wife is an amazing person. And when you're in a high profile position, you get attacked a lot. To have a solid person by your side during all of that is just, I can't tell you how important that is. And we always said that our greatest legacy was going to be our kids. So we just focused.
And y'all live such a healthy, clean lifestyle, and I feel it just reflects in all areas of your life. You can just feel it.
I think balance, balance is important.
Which has been, very difficult for me, and I'm getting better at it, and that's why I love picking your brain about stuff.
But see, and you'll inspire other people as you go through that yourself. But the thing is, having balance in your life, especially when you're the CEO of a company, it's hard to do that.
Yes. Right.
And having a great support mechanism around you, like I had in my wife Ann and my kids, I can't tell you how important that is.
Anyway, we've come to the end of this segment. I hope you'll come back on the show. It wasn't that bad. We'll have a new set.
Yes, he's been very good about the pandemic.
Look, there you are, Todd.
That's it. And
getting your award with Haley Barber.
That's my boss.
Getting a little bit blonder as I get a little older.
With a young Ricky Mathews. That's so funny.
We were little babes.
Awesome.
And those are great things to look back. Ricky, I can't thank you enough for coming on.
Thanks,
Courtney.
This means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Can't thank you for setting this up.
I know.
I mean, there's just
Thanks
out of the
for answering.
You're the best. You're the best.
And we appreciate everybody's support of the Banco Mccarty Foundation and this show. Each week it just keeps getting better and better. Until next time, this is Todd Trenchard and Courtney Anderson saying so long and may God bless.
There's a magic in the air out here.
An exciting place to be.
A peak casino resort and spa. There's fun for everyone. When you need to get away, Biloxi is the place to stay. A peak casino resort and spa. There's fun for everyone.
Come on in to Scranton's Restaurant and Catering in downtown Pascagoula, where ordering just got faster and more convenient. Once you've placed your order, one of our servers will hand you a number. Take that number to the table that you desire to sit at, and in no time, a waitress will be out with your delicious Scranton's food. Scranton's Restaurant and Catering, 623 Delmas Avenue in beautiful Pascagoula.